Hi, welcome to June 2nd, actually. And there's a lot going on this month, and a lot of new energy comes in this month. So, this is a little bit more intensive than the weekly message. And I'm also going to give you a look at the energy for the remainder of the year. So, here we go. So, I don't know if you noticed, but June is a new cycle. We've been having progressions in the energetic patterns in terms of coming out of COVID and re-entering a different flow of energy from the more of a sluggish stop energy to a faster moving energy where we've seen a lot more manifestations. I called May the manifestation month, meaning things were happening in all different directions. Some things you liked, maybe some things you didn't like so much. Well, as we move into June, this is a new cycle of energy, meaning the past is gone and you're a snake that's shedding its skin and there's a new skin coming. So you've probably seen things like relationships falling away, career opportunities that don't fit, separating from those, it becoming very clear what you need to do for yourself. So the clarity comes in about next steps. And even if you've been lamenting over a decision for a long period of time, these are the moments it comes together. And you know what that path is. Again, clarity is clarity, whether we like the feeling or we don't like the feeling that comes with it. So that's one of the markers of the first part of the month. However, as we get into the middle of the month, we start to feel a lot of surprise and wishes fulfilled energy. So it's really remarkable that we get such a contrast of feelings because some people could be experiencing some rather profound losses. But then when you get to the middle of the month, all of a sudden it's like, I was miserable at the first of the month, but then in the middle of the month, suddenly things seem to be going much better. I think some of this challenge energy or separation energy, I'm going to call it in the collective, is also a side effect of Mercury retrograde softening the process for us. Everything's connected. I can't begin to understand how all the parts make sense and align for us so that life works out the way it does and all the synchronicities that occur. But I think it's a gift that we have Mercury retrograde right now because it slows things down and tempers the pace and the blows that we might take. And it also tempers what we can receive. So there are two sides to the coin. But I really like Mercury retrograde this month for the softening energy it brings. Now, that being said, Mercury is always rejuvenate, review, revisit. So it's a time that if relationships went away, they could come back. Ideas that you once had for projects, jobs, adventures, if you put those on hold, they will come back. It's that interesting month where boy, not only do we get clarity and we have some on purpose things happen and separations and starts, we have this lovely, wonderful, comfortable energy in the middle of the month. And then as we get through the Mercury retrograde, we start to feel a more normal pace in terms of how life creates itself. So it's not so much surprises and endings and beginnings as it is just a continuation of what we've been building to date. And of course, we're going to come up on the summer solstice. It's here already, and for those of us who live in the Pacific Northwest, it goes really quickly. It's like you can't wait for December 21st because right after that, you start picking up daylight hours. And here we are where we're going to start to lose daylight time every day, a couple of minutes. So when you feel that transition in the planetary pattern, that also affects our system. And we begin to shift into a more directed mindset. It just kind of happens. It's a collective thing. We're all in the same pattern and we feel it on these earthly planetary shifts. So June is really a remarkable month. Depending on where you fall in the spectrum of the clarity, is it challenging in terms of letting relationships go or parting from jobs? Or is it, I need to go after this thing and this is what I need for myself? You'll probably fall on one side or the other of that spectrum. And all I would say is, lean into the rhythm of this month, especially the first 3 weeks with the Mercury retro, because it feels like a buffer. It really feels like a gift to metabolize whatever we're dealing with. So, look at it that way. And as always, take your time with contracts, with buying, large purchases, things like that. Just have to double check ourselves, because it is a time when things can get a little convoluted. Okay, and also double check your travel plans. All right, so let's now move into predictions for the second half of the year. And I'll do that in the next segment of this video.